A new discovery in the Sea of Galilee, a freshwater lake in northern Israel, could potentially rewrite history. Divers have recently discovered a megalithic structure that has archaeologists baffled. It's a large structure composed of 6 large stones with one sitting in the middle. It is estimated to weigh 60,000 tons and is believed to have been placed there by humans 13,000 years ago. Is it possible that this structure was actually built by an ancient race of humans? I'm not sure that we'll ever find out who was responsible for building it or why it was built exactly where it was, but continue to research this topic and make up your own minds. Also, feel free to speculate and tell us what you think. Several enigmatic constructions, including a massive stone wheel and a moon-shaped monument, were recently discovered in northern Israel, including an enormous monument at the bottom of the Sea of Galilee. The odd buildings stump archaeologists throughout the globe. Who designed and constructed them, and what were they intended to be used for? They might be among Israel's most enigmatic buildings. They may be easily seen from the air or at sea despite their small size. They remained undiscovered for generations in the contested territories of Golan and Galilee. However, archaeologists still don't know who erected Gilgal Rephaim, Jethro Cairn, or the circular building uncovered in the Sea of Galilee. Anarchists are speculating about anything from ancient calendars to ceremonial buildings to sky burials, in which the deceased are put on stone mounds and eaten by birds. Even more mysterious is the fact that there is no indication of a city in the area, and some have suggested that the buildings are, in reality, massive monuments with symbolic meaning. If the constructions are between 3,000 and 12,000 years older than the Pyramid of Giza and Stonehenge in Great Britain, then the only assurance we have is that they exist and that they are enormous. Jethro Cairn's massive moon sphere. Archaeologists in Israel stated in 2014 that they had discovered a stone structure the size of a football pitch in northern Israel. The Jethro Cairn, a 150-meter-long and 7-meter-tall monument, may be observed in satellite pictures. The monument was created between 3050 and 2650 BCE, according to pottery found there during the Bronze Age, although it might be considerably earlier. Sin, the ancient Mesopotamian moon deity, may have inspired the crescent-shaped design of the monument. The Chaldeans of Ur's ancient city had their own moon god, Sin or Nama, as their personal protector. The site's most notable feature is a ziggurat or temple tower, measuring 61 meters long, 46 meters wide, and 21 meters high. The late Bronze Age city of Bet-Yura, which means home of the moon deity in Hebrew, is just a day's walk away from the monument. In 2003, divers found a mystery structure with a diameter bigger than the length of a Boeing 747, around 9 meters below the surface of the Sea of Galilee. In the form of a cone, basalt rocks were used to build the enormous edifice. 70 meters in diameter, 10 meters high, and an estimated 60,000 tons in weight, the foundation of the building. In comparison, Stonehenge, the world's most famous ancient stone circle, is just half as large. Archaeologists believe the building was erected on the ground that was subsequently buried by the lake, but they have been unable to determine its precise age. 1 to 2 meter wide basalt stones, which would have weighed more than 90 kilos at times, were located within a few hundred feet from the site. Gilgal Rephaim, a prehistoric monument, was also a Herculean undertaking to construct. Wheel of Giants is the Hebrew name for Gilgal Rephaim, which relates to an ancient race of giants, the Nephilim, a superhuman race recorded in the Bible. In addition to the 42,000 basalt rocks placed in 5 concentric rings, the enormous monument comprises almost 40,000 tons of basalt. A 4.5-meter burial chamber sits in the middle of 5 rings, the biggest of which is more than 152 meters wide. It seems to be a maze of decaying stone walls from the structure's ground level. An enormous bull's eye can only be seen properly from the air. In certain places, the circles are complete, but not all are, suggesting that astronomical patterns determine the layout. The solstices, the shortest and longest days of the year, coincide with sunrises that line up with rock openings. This device resembles a computer embedded in stone to predict solar and lunar eclipses. However, how would these gigantic stones be carried and computerized if guys in skins built them? The reason for these constructions is still a mystery, but it is clear that the people who created them placed a high value on them. As a result of recent scientific advances, we now know more about the prehistoric world than we could have imagined only a few generations ago. Burning libraries in antiquity resulted in many pages being lost from the record of human history. By examining old texts and information passed down from the Babylonians, Egyptians, Hindus, and Greeks, science emerged from the Dark Ages during the Renaissance and moved forward into the modern period. The ancients' surprised knowledge of Mars' 2 moons is difficult to explain, as Hui of China claims that the moon was barren, frigid, and glassy 43 centuries ago. Why were ancient Greek philosophers aware of the great distance between the stars and of planets beyond Saturn that could not be seen without a telescope? The Book of Enoch, the Epic of Etana, and the Book of the Dead all depicted alien landscapes in their stories. Science's long-lost golden age. Man's character evolved from a nomadic hunter to a settled farmer and city trader about 8000 BCE. Only after man started cultivating crops and keeping livestock did he cross the threshold of civilization. Some 7,000 years ago, something happened. In what way did they inherit a scientific heritage from their predecessors? It's a one-of-a-kind experience to carry and arrange these stones. A single individual cannot lift these burdens. You must prepare and mobilize a large number of people. Not to mention the fact that agriculture was a year-round obligation for most people. One of the biggest mysteries of our time is how a sophisticated ancient civilization managed to build these enormous monuments without us ever knowing who they were. It's safe to assume that these folks were constructing a structure that would last longer than their previous brush shelters. What sparked and fueled these monumental efforts on the part of a people who spent most of their time tending fields? The origins of civilization may go farther back in antiquity. They all talk about a long-lost golden age that they believe was once upon a time. Peru, Mexico, India, Egypt, Babylon, China, and Greece all had their own golden eras throughout this time period, as did many other countries. The torchbearers of civilization, who communicated their wisdom to the astronomer priests worldwide at the start of history, could be the better question to ask than why and what these colossal structures were employed for. Science's marvels were as prevalent then as they are today during a golden period. There must be a search in both time and space for the origins of this vanished technology. The mere existence of unsolved mysteries is truly riveting, and there are countless tales of murderers, kidnappings, serial killers, and mysterious disappearances that have remained unresolved for decades. For some people, these stories are captivating, while others find them narratively boring. We all have our preferences on which mysteries we enjoy the most. However, each tale is captivating due to its mysterious nature, and we should be thankful for the stories that capture our attention. If you are also a big fan of the mystery genre, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel Case Closed to ensure you stay updated on some of the hottest mysteries. See you in the next video. Until then, we bid adieu.